what was the summer camp and guitar workshop all about?
The summer camp was conducted by Satriani. They have other guest guitar players like Paul Gilbert, Phil Collen,
Okay,
Def Leppard.
okay, nice.
Yeah, and then Warren DiMartini from the 80s band Red. So then they had also other musicians. Some of them was from, if I'm not mistaken, they were from, what's that? The one in New York. The one in California, sorry. There's Berkeley, and then the other one is MI. Yeah, so they got some lecturers, I would say, from MI to help them conduct their, so play the bass or play drums and that kind of stuff. So the camp was to basically, doesn't matter whether you're advanced, beginner, intermediate, and also everybody goes there with the mindset to learn, and they have different levels of teaching. And some is a very generic thing. They teach them how to not only be specific in the guitar techniques, what they can work on, but rather more of their experiences on how to get into that platform of being a performer.
Okay.
So they shared all their experiences. So that was basically the bulk of the whole camp. Yeah.
So what, because the main approach would be Joe Satch and Paul Gilbert. But what did they? Is it more like more on like Joe Satch just has like a guitar workshop, or is it like a few of them together?
So how the camp is basically run is that on the first day once we get in, right, it's basically the place that we stayed was like a cabin by the woods kind of concept. So they had a multi-purpose hall where they conduct most of their stuff, and then the small little rooms. So they give us a schedule, and all the timings are listed out on which guitar player is giving what kind of talk. And and some of them are doing it concurrent. So there's two guitar players doing it at once. So you choose which one you think is more suited for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how the camp was conducted. So Joe Satriani, basically, because he's the star of the camp, or it's his camp, so he had the bulk of the teaching process. So he teach in a whole multi-purpose hall. Everybody just go there and they just listen, and then he would just play his stuff. Most of his songs are all from the Surfing with the Alien.
Okay.
And then he play a bit, and then he would tell from this song what did he use back then, what kind of effects, or what kind of style that he was going for, and how stories on how he wrote certain things. Everybody will have a story on how they write certain things. So most of them did that. Yeah.
So if you're talking about Surfing with the Alien Contact, right?
Yeah.
What was his main music composition approach that he used for that song or for the album itself?
For the album, because that album was his, I don't know if you know, but that was he said that was his breakthrough.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, that was his breakthrough. Before that, he was trying and it didn't work out. But so that one was, he really been playing for a long time, he's been teaching and everything. And so that concept of the album, if I'm not mistaken, what he said was that it was more of like he wanted to get through his life experiences and the stories that he had gone through. Like for example, one story that he shared was how he couldn't afford a guitar.
Okay.
All the more expensive ones and everything. So he used to go down to the guitar shop and he used to play. Every day he would go down to the guitar shop and play different guitars. And so the people who work in the guitar place was like, if you're gonna test out and not buy any, I suggest why don't you do us a favor since you're a good guitar player and you teach. And he wasn't interested in teaching. Then he realized that, okay, fair enough, I'll teach and everything. So he taught up to 60 students a week. 60 students, so that he could use a lot. He stayed there so that he could try out different guitars, and he taught different people, which in the end he taught like Kirk Hammett and all this kind of people.
But over at the guitar.
Yeah. He taught. There's this. I don't know what is the name of the guitar place that he was working, but it was in I think San Francisco, one of those places where he's from. So yeah, that was one of the stories that he told, and there are also other stories on how they so how his concept is, he will write. He said it differs. So sometimes they write the melody will also come first, and then sometimes he will try and record it down. And last time they used the tape recorder. Then they will write the chords over it, and then they got a good, for that album he got a good session musicians, I would say. So they know how to read the situation of what he's